Okay, so are you ready to dive into some interview prep today?
I'm totally ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. We're focusing on the herbal therapist role today.
Such a cool field.
It is, and we want to help you prepare for those interviews. So
Yes.
we've got the career guide, we've got the interview guide, and
Yeah.
we've even got some insights into RoleCatcher AI.
Great resources to help us out.
Absolutely. So let's jump right in.
Yeah.
What does an herbal therapist actually do?
Well, they use plant-based medicines to treat a whole range of conditions,
Okay.
allergies, stress, you name it.
It's like personalized plant medicine, basically.
Yeah, pretty much they assess the individual needs of each client and develop these, personalized plans.
That's so cool. And I'm looking at this career guide. It says that this field is booming.
It is.
More and more people are turning to alternative healthcare.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
Which means it's a competitive field.
It is competitive, so
Yeah.
nailing that interview is super important.
It is, and that's where we come in.
Absolutely. So,
Hopefully we can help people.
yeah, let's jump into a question that I think is almost guaranteed to come up in one form or another.
Okay.
Tell us about your experience in herbal therapy.
That's a great word.
It's a classic, but it's so broad.
It is.
So how do we make our answer stand out?
Well, this is your chance to really showcase your unique journey.
Okay.
Don't just list your credentials. Think about the experiences that shaped your passion.
Oh,
Did you volunteer at a community garden? Did you have a personal experience that really drew you to herbs?
so make it personal.
Yeah, make it memorable.
I love that. So instead of just saying, oh, I went to this school and I got this certification, it's more like,
Yeah,
my journey with herbal medicine started when, ...
exactly.
dot.
Yeah, tell a story.
And then share your story.
Yes,
That's great. I
Yeah.
love that. And don't forget to highlight those skills that you picked up along the way.
absolutely.
So did you develop strong communication skills by working with clients?
Yeah.
Were you researching herbal remedies?
Yeah, for sure.
And this is where RoleCatcher AI can actually be really helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it can analyze that job description and pull out the skills they're emphasizing so you can make sure to hit those points when you're talking about your experience.
It's like having a personalized interview coach in your pocket.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to another question. How do you assess a client's individual health needs
Okay.
and develop those personalized treatment plans?
That's a great question. And this is where you really get to showcase your expertise.
So we're getting into like the core of being an herbalist here.
Absolutely. You need to paint a picture for the interviewer
Okay.
of how you gather information from your client
Okay.
through a detailed health history lifestyle assessments.
Okay.
Maybe even physical exams or lab work if that's applicable to your practice.
It sounds like detective work almost.
It is. You're piecing together a puzzle.
Yeah.
You're considering their symptoms, their lifestyle, their overall health.
And then using all of that to create a plan.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And, interviewers are going to be listening for key phrases like holistic and individualized,
Okay.
safety, efficacy. You need to demonstrate that you're not just prescribing herbs, but you're creating a tailored plan for that specific person.
So it's like a personalized roadmap to wellness.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're the guide.
That's a great way to put it.
But I'm sure there's some tricky follow-up questions they could ask.
Oh, for sure. They're going to want to see how you think on your feet.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask, what are some red flags you look for in a client's health history
Okay.
that might influence your choice of remedies?
Okay.
Or how do you handle a situation where a client's resistant to making lifestyle changes?
Those are tough.
They are, but these questions are all about showcasing your thought process.
So walk them through how you approach these challenges
Exactly, step by step.
and highlight your...
Your commitment to safety,
Okay.
your ability to communicate effectively, your willingness to collaborate with the client.
So it's not about having all the answers. It's about showing them that you can think critically and find solutions.
Exactly, and this is another area where RoleCatcher AI can be a game changer.
Oh, tell me more.
It can analyze that job description, identify potential follow-up questions, and even provide you with AI-generated responses tailored to that specific employer.
So it's like peeking into the interviewer's mind.
Pretty much.
That's
It's
amazing.
got a great tool.
Okay. So we've tackled two pretty big questions so far.
We have.
Let's move on to one that focuses on staying current in this field.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date with the latest research and developments in herbal therapy?
Yes, the classic tell us you're a lifelong learner question.
Right.
But in this field, it's not just about ticking a box.
Yeah.
It's about showing a genuine passion for learning and a commitment to your clients.
So it's not enough to just say, I read books.
No, not at all.
You need to show them that you're truly engaged in the field.
Absolutely.
So how do we do that?
Well, think about the resources you use to stay informed. Do you subscribe to any specific journals,
Okay.
like the Journal of Herbal Medicine or the International Journal of Phytotherapy and Phytopharmacology?
Okay, so name dropping those journals, that's good.
Yeah, it shows you're in the know.
Okay, what about conferences or workshops?
Absolutely mention those too, especially if they're hosted by reputable organizations,
Okay.
like the American Herbalists Guild or the National Institute of Medical Herbalists.
I like that.
Yeah, it shows you're actively participating in the professional community.
And what about online resources?
Those are great too. You might mention websites like HerbMed
Rope?
or the Herbal Safety Database or even online courses that you've taken to deepen your knowledge.
So we're really painting a picture here of someone who's actively seeking out knowledge.
Yes, exactly. Someone who's passionate about this field.
And not just passively waiting for it to come to them.
Exactly.
That's great. And here's where RoleCatcher AI can really help again.
Oh.
It can actually analyze that job description and suggest specific journals, conferences, even research articles that align with what that employer is looking for.
Wow, that's incredible.
It takes all the guesswork out of it.
It does.
Now, I know they're going to have some follow-up questions here.
Oh, of course they'll want to see how deeply you've engaged with these resources.
Okay, like what?
They might ask you to tell them about a recent research study that influenced your practice.
Okay.
Or how do you handle the challenge of staying current with just the sheer volume of information that's out there?
Okay, so those follow-ups, they're really testing your knowledge here,
They are.
but also how you think critically about what you're reading and learning.
Absolutely.
So any tip on how to handle those?
Be prepared to share a specific example.
Okay.
Think about a recent study or development that really caught your eye
Okay.
and explain how it impacted your understanding or your approach to herbal therapy.
I like that.
And for that second question, be honest about the challenges of staying current.
Right. It's
There's always something new to learn,
Right.
but highlight your strategies for managing information overload
okay.
and staying focused on what's most relevant to your practice.
So you're showing them that you're not just passively absorbing information, but you're actively engaging with it
Exactly.
and applying it to your work.
Yes.
That's impressive. Okay, we've tackled, 3 big questions so far?
3 down.
All about your experience, your knowledge.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about safety, because I know this is going to come up,
It has to.
especially in a healthcare setting.
Absolutely.
So how do we talk about the safety and the efficacy of herbal remedies?
Okay, well, first of all, you need to project confidence.
Okay.
They might ask you something like, how do you determine the safety and efficacy of these remedies for your clients?
Okay.
And this is where you walk them through your process step by step.
So it's not enough to just say, I know what I'm doing.
No, not at all.
You have to show them.
You have to demonstrate a methodical approach.
Okay. What are some key points here?
Okay, well, you can start by explaining how you consult reputable sources of information.
Okay.
Respected herbalism textbooks, peer-reviewed journals, authoritative online databases.
That's a good one.
And then you can talk about how you consider potential interactions, contraindications, and dosage guidelines based on that client's individual health profile.
So you're taking a really holistic approach.
Absolutely. You're considering all the factors that could affect their safety and the effectiveness of the treatment.
It's like personalized safety.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can actually help out,
Oh, how so?
because the AI can actually scan that job description and pinpoint any safety concerns that they've mentioned or even any specific certifications that they require.
Okay.
So you can weave that into your answer
Yeah.
and show them that you're paying attention.
Yeah, you're speaking their language.
You're speaking their language, absolutely.
That's great.
Now, I'm sure there are some tough follow-up questions they could ask you here.
Oh, yeah. They'll want to test your knowledge.
Yeah. Okay, what kind of questions?
Well, they might ask about the challenges in determining the efficacy of herbal remedies,
Okay.
or how you approach a situation where the research is conflicting or inconclusive.
So those questions are really getting into the nuances of the field.
They are.
They want to know how you think.
Exactly.
Okay,
Oh.
so how do we handle those?
Honesty is key.
Okay,
Acknowledge the limitations of research
okay.
and emphasize the importance of clinical experience,
Got it.
ongoing learning,
Mm-hmm.
collaboration with other healthcare providers.
So you're showing them that you're not afraid of those gray areas?
Yeah, you're comfortable with uncertainty.
That you can make sound judgments even when the evidence isn't perfectly clear.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
It's all part of being a skilled herbalist.
Okay, so we've covered experience. We've talked about safety.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about communication,
Right.
because I think this is key in any healthcare profession.
Absolutely.
So how do we talk about communicating with clients about the benefits and the risks of herbal therapy?
Well, you really want to showcase your interpersonal skills here.
Okay.
Interviewers want to see that you can explain complex concepts clearly,
Okay.
that you can build rapport with clients,
Hmm.
and navigate sensitive conversations with empathy.
So it's not just about knowing the herbs, it's about knowing how to talk to people.
It is, you need to be able to meet them where they are.
Okay. What are some key points to highlight?
Okay, we'll focus on clarity,
Okay.
empathy,
Mm-hmm.
informed consent.
Okay.
You need to be able to explain the potential risks and benefits in a balanced way,
Okay.
empowering the client to make informed decisions.
So you're building trust
Exactly.
and you're building rapport by making sure they feel heard.
Yes, and understood.
I like that.
Yeah.
And this is another area where RoleCatcher AI can be really helpful
Oh, how so?
because it can actually analyze the job description for keywords related to communication style
Okay.
or specific requirements for informed consent.
So you can tailor your response to what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not just talking about communication in general. You're showing them that you understand their specific expectations.
That's a great strategy.
Now, I'm sure there's some challenging follow-up questions they could ask you here.
Oh, absolutely. They'll want to see how you handle those tricky conversations.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask something like, how do you handle a situation where a client has unrealistic expectations
Okay,
about the speed or effectiveness of herbal therapy?
right, because it's not a magic bullet.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Or they might ask, how do you explain complex concepts to clients who might not have a scientific background?
Those are great questions, and they really require a lot of skill
They do.
and sensitivity.
Yes.
So how do we approach those?
Be prepared to share specific examples of how you've handled similar situations in the past.
Okay.
Highlight your ability to listen, actively validate concerns, and communicate clearly and compassionately, even when delivering difficult news.
So it's about showcasing those skills in action.
Exactly. And don't forget to emphasize your commitment to ongoing communication and collaboration with the client.
So it's a journey you're going on together.
It is.
Okay, we've covered 4 big questions so far,
We have.
all focused on your experience, your knowledge, your approach to safety, your communication skills.
Yeah, we're hitting all the key points.
Now let's talk about confidentiality,
Yeah,
because this is foundational in healthcare.
absolutely essential.
So how do we address this question of maintaining client confidentiality and privacy?
This is where you showcase your unwavering commitment to ethical practice.
Okay, so more than just saying, I'll keep things confidential.
Yeah, you need to go deeper than that.
Okay,
You need to demonstrate a deep understanding of this responsibility.
okay, so how do we do that?
Well, you can start by stating your commitment to confidentiality
Okay,
and explain that you adhere to all relevant privacy regulations like HIPAA if you're in the US,
okay, good one.
and then give specific examples of how you protect client information in your practice.
So we're walking them through those steps.
Exactly, showing them that you've thought about this carefully
Yeah.
and that you have systems in place.
What kind of examples could we give?
Well, you might mention secure record-keeping systems, password-protecting electronic files,
Okay.
being mindful of conversations in shared spaces,
Okay.
obtaining informed consent before sharing any information with third parties.
So it's like building that culture of confidentiality.
Exactly, making it a priority in every aspect of your practice.
And of course, RoleCatcher AI can help here
Oh, of course.
because it can analyze that job description,
Right.
identify any specific confidentiality requirements or regulations that you need to be aware of.
So you can tailor your response to their specific needs?
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Now, I'm sure there are some follow-up questions they could ask.
Oh, they'll definitely want to test your ethical boundaries.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask what you would do if a client asked you to disclose information to a family member without their consent.
Okay, that's tricky.
It is.
Well, how about,
Or they might ask how you would handle a situation where you overheard a colleague discussing a client's case in a public area.
so they're really trying to put you on the spot here.
They are. But you need to demonstrate that you understand the nuances of confidentiality
Right.
and that you're prepared to uphold those standards.
Even in tough situations.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered 5 key questions so far,
We're on a roll.
all focusing on, experience, knowledge, safety, communication, confidentiality.
Yeah, the essentials.
Now let's zoom out a bit and talk about the bigger picture of healthcare.
Okay.
How do you address the question of collaborating with other healthcare providers
Okay.
to ensure comprehensive care for your clients?
This is where you showcase your ability to work effectively as part of a team
because herbal therapy is often just one piece of the puzzle,
It is.
especially when it comes to those complex health issues.
Absolutely.
So how do we demonstrate that willingness to collaborate?
We'll start by explaining that you believe in a holistic approach, which often involves working with other providers,
Yep.
and then give specific examples of how you would collaborate.
Okay, like what?
We might talk about referring clients for additional testing or treatment,
Okay.
sharing relevant information about their herbal therapy plan, attending joint consultations when appropriate.
So you're showing them that you're a team player.
Exactly. You're putting the client's well-being first, even if that means stepping outside your specific area of expertise.
I love that. And of course, RoleCatcher AI can help us tailor our answer here.
Oh, for sure.
Because the AI can scan that job description.
Yes.
Look for any keywords related to collaboration or any specific types of healthcare professionals that you might need to interact with.
And then you can weave those details into your response.
So you're showing them that you understand that specific collaborative environment.
You're speaking their language.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about follow-up questions.
All right.
Because I know they're going to want to dig a little deeper here.
They will.
What could they?
Well, they might ask how you would handle a situation where another healthcare provider expressed skepticism about your recommendations.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is. Or they might ask how you would advocate for your client's needs within a collaborative healthcare team.
So these questions are really testing your interpersonal skills
They are.
and your ability to navigate some potentially challenging situations.
Absolutely.
So any advice on how to approach those?
Show them that you can stand up for your professional expertise
Okay.
while also respecting the opinions of others
Mm-hmm.
and working toward a shared goal,
Which is,
optimal client care.
that's perfect.
Huh.
Okay, we've covered 6 important questions so far, all focused on those, essential skills and qualities
Yeah.
for an herbal therapist.
Mhm.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about lifestyle changes.
Okay.
Because as an herbal therapist,
Yeah.
you're not just prescribing herbs, you're also encouraging clients to make healthy lifestyle changes.
You're right. It's about a holistic approach. It's about empowering the client to take an active role in their healing.
So how do we address that in the interview?
Well, you might get a question like, how do you educate clients about the importance of making lifestyle changes?
Okay.
And this is your chance to really showcase your understanding that herbs are powerful,
Yes.
but they work best when integrated into a broader context of healthy habits.
So it's not just about treating symptoms.
No, it's about addressing the root causes of imbalance.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what are some key points to highlight here?
Okay, well, emphasize that you believe in empowering clients
Right.
to take an active role in their health journey, and then give specific examples of the types of lifestyle changes you might discuss.
Like what?
Things like diet,
Okay.
exercise,
Yeah.
stress management,
Okay.
sleep hygiene.
Those are all good ones.
Yeah, it's all about helping them create a foundation for well-being.
A solid foundation.
Yes.
That goes beyond just masking those symptoms.
Exactly.
And of course, RoleCatcher can help us here.
Oh, of course it can scan that job description for any keywords related to lifestyle counseling or specific health and wellness philosophies.
That's right. So we can tailor our answer to their approach.
Exactly.
Now, I'm sure there's some tricky follow-up questions they could ask.
Oh, yeah. They'll want to see how you handle those challenging situations.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you motivate clients who are resistant to change?
Okay, that's a tough one.
It is.
Yeah.
Or how do you balance respecting a client's autonomy while also encouraging them to make healthier choices?
So these are questions that require a lot of nuance
They do.
and a deep understanding of human behavior.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how do we approach those?
Well, be prepared to share specific examples of how you've handled similar situations.
Okay.
Highlight your ability to listen, validate concerns,
It's okay.
and work collaboratively with the client to find solutions.
That's great.
Yeah, it's about building trust and rapport.
And empowering the client to make those changes for themselves.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered 7 key questions so far. We're making great progress.
All focused on those essential skills and qualities for an herbal therapist.
Yeah.
Now let's dive into a topic that can be a little bit tricky.
Okay.
Managing client expectations.
Right, because sometimes people have unrealistic expectations
They do.
about what herbal therapy can achieve.
Especially when it comes to like the time frame.
Yeah, they want quick fixes.
They do.
And herbal medicine often takes time.
It does. It's a process.
It is.
So how do we address this in the interview?
Well, you might get a question like, how do you manage client expectations and ensure client satisfaction?
Okay.
And this is where you showcase your ability to communicate effectively,
Okay.
set realistic goals, and build strong relationships.
So it's about setting the stage for a collaborative journey
It is.
where you and the client are both working towards those achievable outcomes.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are some key points to highlight here?
Well, emphasize the importance of honesty and transparency.
Okay.
Explain that you clearly communicate the potential benefits
Okay.
and limitations
Right.
of herbal therapy,
Mm.
and that it's a process, not a quick fix.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. And also highlight the importance of open communication.
Throughout that whole process.
Yes, you're checking in with them, regularly soliciting feedback
Mhm.
and making adjustments as needed.
So you're showing them that you're a good listener,
Yes,
you're responsive to their needs,
absolutely.
you're committed to finding those solutions together.
That's the key. It's a partnership.
I love that.
Yeah.
And of course, RoleCatcher AI can help us here.
Oh, how so?
It can analyze that job description and identify any keywords related to client satisfaction,
Okay.
communication protocols, even specific metrics that they might use to measure success.
Oh, wow. So you can tailor your answer to their specific approach.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
I know they're going to have some follow-up questions here.
Oh, they will. They'll want to see how you handle those tricky situations.
Okay, so give me an example. How do you handle a situation where a client is unhappy with their progress despite following your recommendations?
Okay, that's a tough one.
It is. Or what about how do you address a client who has unrealistic expectations about the speed of results?
Those are challenging, but they're also realistic.
These are the kinds of situations you'll encounter in practice.
So how do we navigate those?
Be prepared to share specific examples from your experience.
Okay.
Highlight your ability to listen. Validate concerns. Work collaboratively
Okay.
to find solutions.
And always maintain that professionalism and that commitment
Yeah.
to finding the best possible outcome
Exactly.
for the client.
Yes.
Okay, we've covered 8 key questions so far,
8 down.
all focused on essential skills and qualities for an herbal therapist.
This is great prep.
It is. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to circle back to something we talked about earlier,
Right.
which is the importance of staying up to date in this field,
Absolutely essential.
especially because it's constantly evolving.
Is.
New research is coming out all the time.
Yeah.
There are new discoveries.
New techniques.
And interviewers are going to want to see that you're passionate about continuing that learning.
Absolutely. It shows dedication.
So it's not enough to just say, I attend conferences or I read journals.
No, you need to showcase your enthusiasm,
Okay.
your desire to be at the forefront of the field.
So how do we do that?
Well, think about what truly excites you about herbal medicine.
Oh.
Is it the latest research?
Mhm.
Is it attending workshops?
Oh.
Connecting with other herbalists?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, let that passion shine through in your answer.
So we're sharing our authentic love of learning
Yes.
and our dedication to providing the best possible care.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to get specific.
Yeah. Mention a recent conference that inspired you, a book that challenged your thinking,
Okay.
a new technique you're eager to try.
Those details, they really bring your answer to life.
They do.
And they make you stand out.
For sure.
And of course, RoleCatcher can help here too.
Oh, how so?
The AI can analyze that job description for any keywords related to professional development
Right.
or any specific areas of expertise that they might be looking for.
So you can show them that you're actively seeking out the knowledge and skills that they value.
Exactly. It's all about showing them that you're a proactive learner,
Yes.
always striving to improve.
And expand your knowledge base.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've unpacked, 9 key interview questions?
Fine down.
Discussed the importance of showcasing your passion for lifelong learning,
Yeah.
and explored how RoleCatcher AI can be such a powerful tool
It's a game changer.
in helping you prepare for those interviews.
Absolutely.
But we're not done yet.
More to come.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Can't wait. All right, welcome back. We're diving back into that Herbal Therapist interview prep.
Yes, we are. We've already covered so much.
We have, but there's always more to learn.
I agree. It's like an onion. We keep peeling back those layers.
I love that analogy.
And it's not just about knowing the answers. It's about embodying that confidence and expertise.
It's about owning it.
Yes, owning it.
Yeah.
So let's keep exploring those interview questions.
Right.
That can really make a difference.
Okay.
So how about this one? How do you determine the appropriate dosage and frequency of herbal remedies
Ooh, that's a good one.
to your clients?
This question is all about showing that you understand the art and science of herbal therapy.
Okay.
Because herbs aren't one size fits all.
They're not. Every
Oh.
person is unique.
Every person is unique. Every condition is unique.
So how do we strike that balance
Yeah.
between that general knowledge and then tailoring it to the individual?
Well, you really want to emphasize that multifaceted approach.
Yes.
So you're considering their age,
Okay.
their weight, their overall health,
Mm-hmm.
the specific condition being treated, the potency of the herb, any potential interactions with medications or supplements they might be taking.
So many factors to consider.
There are.
It's like a puzzle almost.
It is. It's like you're a detective.
You are.
You're gathering all those clues and
Yeah.
using them to craft that perfect formula.
That's amazing. Okay, so walk me through this a little bit.
Okay, so you're considering all these factors,
Mm-hmm.
and you're using that information to determine that starting dosage.
Okay.
And you're monitoring the client's response closely, and you're adjusting the dosage or the frequency as needed.
So it's an ongoing process.
It is. It's not just a one-and-done situation.
Not at all.
Right.
Okay, so we're considering all these factors.
Yeah.
We're adjusting as needed. And then what else?
And then you also want to mention the resources that you rely on to inform your decisions.
Or like what?
Things like reputable herbal formularies, materia medicas,
Okay.
clinical research studies.
So we're really showing them that we've got that depth of knowledge
Yeah, that you're committed to evidence-based practice.
and that we're staying up to date.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. Okay.
And RoleCatcher can even help you prepare for this question.
Oh, tell me more.
The AI can analyze the job description and identify any specific dosage guidelines
Okay.
or protocols that employer might have in place.
So we're showing them that we understand their specific approach.
Exactly. You're speaking their language.
I love that. Okay, now I'm sure they're going to have some follow-up questions here
Well, they will.
to really test our knowledge.
Yeah, like what are some signs that a client might be experiencing an adverse reaction
Right.
to an herbal remedy?
Okay.
Or how would you adjust the dosage for someone who's also taking conventional medications?
Okay, so these follow-ups are really getting into the nuances
They are.
of herbal medicine.
They want to know that you can think critically
Yes.
and make those informed decisions.
In real-world situations.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we've talked about dosage and frequency.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another aspect of herbal therapy
Okay.
that I think requires a really careful and sensitive approach.
All right. What's that?
Herbal remedies during pregnancy or breastfeeding.
Oh, yes. This is a big one.
This is a big one.
Safety is paramount.
It is.
So they might ask, how do you approach the use of herbal remedies for clients who are pregnant or breastfeeding?
Okay, so how do we answer that?
Well, first and foremost, emphasize that you prioritize the safety of both the mother and the baby.
Above all else.
Above all else, exactly.
Okay.
So you explain that you take a very conservative approach,
Okay.
recommending only herbs with a well-established safety record,
Okay.
and avoiding anything that's known or even suspected to be contraindicated.
So we're erring on the side of caution here.
Absolutely. There's a lot we still don't know about the effects of herbs on developing fetuses and infants.
Right. And every pregnancy is different.
Is.
Every person's body is different. So
Exactly.
you have to be really careful.
You do.
Okay, so we're being conservative. We're choosing those safe herbs.
Yes.
And then what?
And then you also want to highlight the importance of consulting with the client's other healthcare providers.
Okay, so their doctor,
Yeah, their obstetrician,
their midwife.
their midwife, whoever is involved in their care.
So we're showing them that we're a team player.
Yes. You're a part of a collaborative care team.
And of course, RoleCatcher can help us here
Oh, how so?
because the AI can actually analyze that job description and see if there are any specific guidelines or restrictions that that employer might have regarding herbal remedies.
Oh, wow. So you can really tailor your response to their specific policies.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
I'm sure they're going to have some follow-up questions here.
Oh, yeah. They'll want to dig deeper.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask for examples of herbs that are generally considered safe during pregnancy,
Okay.
or how you would handle a client who is insistent on using an herb that you're not comfortable recommending.
So those follow-ups are really testing our knowledge, but also our communication skills.
Absolutely.
Because you have to be firm, but you also have to be compassionate.
You do. It's a balancing act.
It is.
But it's all part of being a skilled herbalist.
All right, so we've talked about dosage and frequency. We've talked about pregnancy and breastfeeding. Now let's move on to another potential challenge.
Okay.
Interactions between herbs and conventional medications.
Oh, this is a big one.
This is a big one
It is.
because herbs can interact with medications.
They can, and it's essential to be aware of those potential interactions.
Absolutely.
Right.
So How do we address this in the interview?
Okay, we'll emphasize that you take a proactive approach
Okay.
to identifying those potential interactions.
Okay.
So you gather a detailed medication history from each client.
So prescription drugs,
Yes.
over-the-counter medication,
Right.
supplements.
Everything they're taking.
We're leaving no stone unturned.
Exactly. You need to have the full picture.
Okay, and then what?
And then you consult reputable resources
Okay.
to assess the potential for interactions between those specific herbs and the client's medications.
So we're talking textbooks.
Textbooks, online databases, research articles.
We're really showing them that we're on top of this.
You're demonstrating your commitment to safety.
Okay, so we're gathering that information.
Yes.
We're consulting those resources, and then what?
And then if potential interactions are identified, you communicate with the client's other healthcare providers.
Oh, their doctor, their pharmacist.
Exactly. You're working as part of a collaborative team.
And RoleCatcher can actually help us here.
Oh, how so?
The AI can analyze that job description and see if there are any specific protocols or procedures that they have in place regarding medication interactions.
So you can show them that you understand their approach to safety.
Exactly.
I love that.
Okay, now I'm sure they're going to have some follow-up questions here.
Of course I want to test your knowledge.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask for examples of herbs that are known to interact with common medications.
Okay.
Or how would you approach a situation where a client is reluctant to disclose their medication use?
So those follow-ups are really about showing that we can handle those tricky situations.
They are. It's about demonstrating your knowledge,
Mhm.
your resourcefulness,
And our sensitivity.
and your sensitivity, yes.
Okay, so we've covered medication interactions.
Mm.
Now let's shift our focus to client education,
Okay.
because this is so important
It is.
to make sure that clients are using those herbal remedies safely and effectively.
You want to empower your clients with knowledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So how do we address that in the interview?
Well, they might ask something like, how do you educate clients about the proper use and storage of herbal remedies?
Okay, so how do we answer that?
Well, start by explaining that you believe in empowering clients with information.
Okay.
So you provide clear and concise instructions both verbally and in writing
Okay.
regarding dosage frequency, method of administration,
Mm-hmm.
any potential side effects or precautions.
So we're not just handing them a bottle of herbs.
No, you're taking the time to educate them.
And then what about storage?
Storage is crucial.
It is, because those herbs can lose their potency.
They can if they're not stored properly.
Right. So how do we educate our clients about that?
Well, you explain the appropriate temperature, humidity, light conditions for storing different types of herbs,
Okay.
whether they're dried or tinctures or capsules.
It's all about helping them understand that those herbal remedies are powerful medicines.
They are, and they need to be treated with respect.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And RoleCatcher can help us here.
Oh, of course.
The AI can analyze that job description and look for any specific guidelines or protocols that that employer might have
Okay.
regarding client education or the dispensing of herbal remedies.
So you can show them that you understand their specific practices.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Now, I'm sure they'll have some follow-up questions here.
Oh, for sure. They'll want to see how you handle those challenging situations.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask, how do you address a client who is not following your instructions
Okay.
regarding dosage or frequency?
Okay.
Or what are some common mistakes people make when storing herbal remedies, and how do you advise clients to avoid them?
So those follow-up questions are really about testing our patience. Yes. Our observation skills, our ability to guide those clients.
Exactly. It's about being both knowledgeable and compassionate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground in terms of those clinical skills,
Well, yeah.
client interactions.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one more area I want to touch on,
Okay. What's that?
the business side of running a practice.
Oh, yes. This is often overlooked, but it's so important.
It is, because you're not just an herbalist. You're also an entrepreneur.
You're running a business.
So how do we address this in the interview?
Well, they might ask something like, how do you approach the business aspects of running an herbal therapy practice?
Okay? And we want to show them that we've got those skills.
Absolutely.
That we're not just passionate about the herbs, but we also understand the business side of things.
Exactly.
So what are some key areas to focus on?
Okay, we'll start by highlighting your organizational skills,
Okay.
your time management skills. You're comfortable with scheduling appointments,
Okay.
maintaining accurate records, tracking income and expenses.
So those foundational business skills.
Exactly.
And then what about marketing?
Yeah, you want to touch on your approach to marketing and client acquisition.
Okay.
How do you plan to attract new clients and build a sustainable practice?
So networking, building a website.
Yeah, social media workshops.
It's all about showing that you're proactive and strategic.
Absolutely. You're thinking about the long-term success of your practice.
Okay, so we've got those organizational skills.
Yes.
Marketing skills.
And RoleCatcher can help here too.
Oh, how so?
The AI can analyze the job description
Mm-hmm.
for any specific business-related skills or experience that they might be looking for.
So we can tailor our answer to their needs.
Exactly.
Okay, now I'm sure they're going to have some follow-up questions here.
Oh, yeah, they'll want to test your problem-solving skills.
Okay, like what?
Well, they might ask, how would you handle a client who is consistently late paying their invoices?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It is, but it's a reality of running a business.
Okay, or what about...
Or what strategies would you use to build a strong online presence?
Okay, so those follow-ups are really about showing that we can handle those real-world business challenges.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered clinical skills, client interactions, business skills.
Yeah, we've touched on a lot.
Now I want to talk about passion,
Okay.
because I think this is what really sets candidates apart.
It does.
It's that spark,
That enthusiasm.
that love for herbal medicine.
It's contagious.
It is. So how do we bring that to the interview?
Well, it starts with self-reflection.
Okay.
Why did you choose this path?
What drew you to herbal medicine?
What excites you about this work?
What brings you joy?
Think about those things.
And then...
And then think about specific examples or anecdotes that illustrate your passion.
Okay, so tell those stories.
Yes, let your enthusiasm shine through.
And RoleCatcher can help us here too.
Oh, how so?
The AI can actually analyze the job description and look for keywords that relate to the company's mission or values, so we can tailor our stories to align with what they're looking for.
That's a great strategy.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have.
But before we move on to the final part,
Okay.
I want to acknowledge that the world of herbal medicine is vast.
It is.
And there are so many different approaches and philosophies within this field.
Absolutely.
And interviewers are going to want to know where you stand.
They will.
What's your unique perspective?
They might ask you to tell them about your philosophy of herbal medicine.
Okay, so it's not just about knowing the herbs, it's about articulating our vision.
Exactly.
So how do we prepare for that?
Well, it starts with identifying your core values.
Okay.
What do you believe about health and wellness
What role do you see herbal medicine playing?
in the larger context of healthcare?
So we're really getting to the heart of our practice here.
We are. It's about understanding what drives you.
Okay, and then once we've clarified those values...
And you want to think about specific examples that illustrate those beliefs.
Okay, so stories again.
Yes, stories are powerful.
They are.
They help the interviewer connect with you on a deeper level.
And RoleCatcher can help us tailor those stories.
Oh, how so?
The AI can analyze the job description and look for keywords related to the company's culture or values or any specific therapeutic approaches that they embrace.
So you can show them that your philosophy aligns with theirs.
Exactly.
That's a fantastic strategy.
All right, we've covered so much ground in part 2 of this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored a wide range of interview questions.
Yeah.
Discussed the importance of showcasing your passion, expertise, and personal philosophy.
And of course, RoleCatcher has been our trusty guide,
It has.
helping us prepare effectively.
But there's one more part to this deep dive.
I'm excited for part 3.
Me too.
Baby.
Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into those herbal therapist interviews.
I'm excited to wrap this up with some final tips.
Me too. We've covered so much ground, but what's one thing that candidates often overlook?
I think one thing that often gets missed is practicing those real-world scenarios.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's not just about knowing the answers to those common questions.
Okay.
It's about being able to think on your feet and adapt to those unexpected twists and turns that an interview can take.
Right, because it's a conversation.
It is. It's a dynamic interaction.
So how can candidates prepare for that?
I recommend brainstorming potential scenarios beyond those standard questions.
Okay.
For example, imagine they ask you to describe a challenging case you encountered in your practice
Okay.
and how you approached it.
That's a tough one.
It is, but it's a great opportunity to showcase your problem-solving skills, your clinical judgment.
And your ability to learn from those experiences.
Exactly. So take some time to reflect on your past cases.
Okay.
What were some situations that really tested your skills?
Okay.
What were the key decisions you made, the challenges you faced, the lessons you learned?
So we're really digging deep here.
You're showing them that you're not afraid of challenges
Right.
and that you're always striving to improve.
That's great. Okay, so we've talked about scenario practice.
Yes.
Now let's talk about those questions that you ask at the end of the interview.
Yes. The dreaded, do you have any questions for us moment?
I know, it's so easy to just draw a blank or ask something generic.
It is, but don't waste this opportunity.
Right, because it's an opportunity to...
It is, to really show them that you're genuinely interested.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Research.
Okay.
Go beyond just skimming their website.
Okay.
Really dig deep into their mission, their values, their approach to herbal therapy.
So we're doing our homework.
You're showing them that you're serious about this opportunity.
And then once we've done that research...
Then think about questions that genuinely pique your curiosity.
Okay.
You might ask about their specific approach to herbal therapy, their collaborative practices with other providers, their commitment to professional development, their vision for the future of the field.
So we're showing them that we're thinking about the bigger picture.
You're showing them that you're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right fit.
I love that.
It's a two-way street.
Okay, so we've talked about scenario practice.
Yep.
We've talked about asking those thoughtful questions.
Yes.
Now I want to circle back to RoleCatcher AI.
Our trusty guide.
It has been such a valuable tool throughout this whole process.
It has. And it's accessible to everyone.
That's what's so great about it.
Yeah, you can sign up for a free account and start using those tools right away.
To analyze those job descriptions, identify key skills.
Tailor your resume and cover letter, practice your answers.
It's like having a personalized career coach in your pocket.
It is. It's amazing.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yes.
what's one piece of advice you want to leave our listeners with?
Believe in yourself
and
believe in the power of the plants.
I love that.
You've chosen a path that's connected to nature, to healing, to the well-being of others. Embrace that calling, nurture your knowledge, and trust that you have something valuable to offer the world.
Beautifully said. And that's a wrap on our Herbal Therapist interview prep deep dive.
We did.
We did it. We hope you enjoyed the journey and that you feel empowered and prepared to ace those interviews and embark on a fulfilling career in herbal medicine.
Best of luck to everyone out there.
Absolutely.